Guys, Metalwargod here, and again, like previous video I did was a video mail update from Scott Waters and Laser's Edge. I have another one here, and these are all opened, and I'm going to kind of go through them very quickly. There's quite a few here. I haven't really been doing a lot of videos lately. Of course, work being busy, now we're getting a lot of snow, and I have a whole bunch here. So we'll start off first with some 10-inch. And I seen this over on Bomp Records distribution. And I had to have this. This is a very raw sound from the Runaways. And this is Born to Be Bad. It is the historical document first demos from August of '75, of course produced by King Fowley. And they are definitely raw. The production is not up to standards in my opinion, but what do you get when they're just demos? I mean, still, I've never seen this one, and I heard this. It's actually not too bad. For the sound quality and the production, it lacks quite a bit, but still, always nice to get some Runaways in my collection. And then this I got from Soundstage Direct. There's a couple I got there. I picked up this 10-inch from Anthrax, and it is Fistful of Metal and Armed and Dangerous. And slowly but surely I'm starting to fill out my Anthrax collection. So anyway, here's some Anthrax. Up next, from Shadow Kingdom Records. This was pre-ordered, but I didn't pre-order it. I ordered it when it came out and was available. This is a 4-song EP from a band called Haunt. They are more new wave of traditional heavy metal, and this is Luminous Eyes. And you can see I'm sure the glare is going to get you. But Haunt with Luminous Eyes, a very good CD. Definitely pick it up. Up next, this comes from Bomp Records. This is a band out of, I think 84, 85, if I'm not mistaken, 84. It's an all-female band. They are a garage rock band, and I'm talking about the Pandoras, and their album, It's About Time. Originally released in 1984, and Bomp Records put it out. So, garage rock, very good stuff. Up next, also from Bomp Records, and this is really good. It is called The Brood, and it's called In Spite of It All. Again, more garage rock. Let's see if the vinyl. Check out the vinyl here. Of course, it is on Get Hip Records. What you're listening to in the background is Moxie. Their first album. Tommy Bolin actually does a couple tracks on here, but anyway, The Brood, In Spite of It All. This is more female fronted as well. It is actually all female fronted. You know me, I love female fronted bands, always have. Up next, this band really kind of continues to get better and better with each album they put out, and this album is no exception. It is a great album. believe the band's out of Sweden, and I'm talking about Audrey Horn and their album Blackout. Just think Thin Lizzy influenced hard rock, basically, and that's what you get here with Audrey Horn. And I love the octopus on here, and it's just a straight tie and a shirt. But anyway, Audrey Horn. And then I seen a VC member show this a while back, and as soon as he showed it, I went and searched for it, but I did not buy it at that time. I waited, and finally I pulled the trigger on this. I found it in the US, actually. That's why I didn't buy it before, because it was only available in Australia, and it's on Blank Records. And like I say, there was a seller on eBay that was selling this for 30 bucks. Couldn't pass it up. Talking about the Stock Forest Group. Of course, if you're not familiar with the Stock Forest Group, they later became Blue Oyster Cult, and they were also called the Soft White Underbelly. This is a fantastic album from the Stock Forest Group. If you do pick this up, definitely check out, let's see what song am I, Saint Cecilia, which is on the B-side. And also on the B-side, it has a song on here called The Curse of the Hidden Mirror. And of course, that was their last studio album they ever did. It's been quite a long time since they put out any new material. I just saw Blue Oyster Cult a couple weeks ago, and fantastic show. I think my third time seeing them. Yeah, third time seeing them. Great show. There was a negative. It was kind of, it should have been a little longer, but I'm not going to complain. It was well worth seeing them, and always loved Blue Oyster Cult. So check that out, Stock Forest Group. Up next is a band that I love. Been following since they first came out, probably about, I think about 10 years ago. And this particular album was part of a pledge drive, and I pledged to this album well over a year ago. And no updates. So I was thinking that it was a lost cause. Well, then about a month and a half ago, there were updates that the album is completed and they were shipping out to all the pledges. And this is White Wizard, new wave of traditional heavy band, and this is called Infernal Overdrive. And it is autographed by the band. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but one's right here. One's in here, the other one is up here as well, and the other one is right there. But it is a gatefold double album set. There's the back, there's the front. It's a gatefold. Very good album. Definitely pick it up if you're a White Wizard fan. And of course it is on white vinyl, custom inners. So it definitely is traditional heavy metal, and of course they have, let's see, it is Wyatt Anderson is back doing vocals in the band, so definitely check out White Wizard, their new album. I don't know if you'll get it signed or find it signed, but I did when I pledged. So, and then up next is a band out of the 70s, mid-70s, 75, 76, 77, a band out of England. And I had never seen the vinyl before, and this comes from Shadow Kingdom, and I'm talking about the band Searchin. And what's different about this particular album is one side A and B plays at regular 33 1/3 RPM. Side D or C and D play at 45 RPM. And it was really weird because I was playing it and it just didn't sound right. So I thought it was my turntable. And then I started to read, here, I'll show you this here anyway. This is a great package. Put out by High Rollers. Of course, Searchin is 2 members that went on to form Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Dave Murray, and I'm gonna forget the name, but anyway, here's the back, here's the front, and here's the inner, but it opens up into a bigger package. Anyway, Dave Murray and let's see here. No, I'm kind of lost on this. Okay, it was Dave Murray and Adrian Smith were in the band. The first side A and B just consisted of Adrian Smith, and side C and D, of course, were both Adrian Smith and Dave Murray. This is kind of a lost classic, in my opinion. It is an album that really kind of went unnoticed even before Iron Maiden became Iron Maiden, of course. And it's put out, like I say, by High Roller Records. And it is on black vinyl. Of course, this side will say 45 RPM, and the other album says 33 1/3. So if you pick this up, I just want to make that aware to you guys that it is, it's not your turntable. It's how the vinyl is played on 2 different speeds. So definitely make yourself aware of that if you pick it up. I don't know if there's any more over there well, actually I got this through Shadow Kingdom, but it's through High Roller Records. Trying to get these in here. Sometimes they just don't want to go in there. So anyway, like I say, it's a double album set. Very good set. Definitely check it out. And you can definitely hear the Maiden influence in some of the songs on here that were later to become Iron Maiden classics. Okay, there we go. Sometimes I just hate getting this stuff in here, but anyway, Searchin. Up next, this was a surprise for me in the aspect that I heard this on Bill Peters' Metal on Metal Countdown, or a radio show on Friday nights on WJCU. And this was actually in the top 25 of their year-end countdown that the fans voted on. And this was one of the albums in there. And I heard the song, I loved the song, and I went over and I picked it up through this band's website, a band called Elder. And it is Reflections of a Floating World. It's kind of not really doomish, but it has some doom parts in it, very stonerish. Maybe has some psych sides into this, but anyway, here is Elder with Reflections of a Floating World. Next, I bought this as soon as it came out. Definitely, I think, to date, the thrash release of the year. I have all their stuff. There's one, let's see, I think I'm missing one album. and I can't remember which one it is, but their last one I got on CD. I don't even know if that one was even on vinyl. It might be, but I'm not positive. But I'm talking about thrash band Accuser from Germany and their album The Mastery, and it kicks ass. Definitely pick this up. It's on Metal Blade Records. It came out in January, and this will be high up on my list in 2018 for the year end, but great stuff from Accuser. Up next is a band that's been around since the late 70s. A band that continues to put out great albums. I would say the last 20 years of this band's catalog are probably some of the best albums they've recorded to date. Now you can go back to the early days, and their first 4 albums are masterpieces in my opinion, and I got to see this band in '85, and I'm going to be seeing this band again in April 2nd along with Judas Priest, and I'm talking about Searchin and their new release Thunderbolt. Definitely going to be high on my list. They just continue to put out great heavy metal in the Saxon vein. Thunderbolt, classic track. Nosferatu, The Vampire's Waltz, great track. Then they got a tribute to Lemmy. They played Rock and Roll, great track. My favorite on here though has to be Predator. They kind of mix it up a little bit with some death growls, and to me it's just different than what Saxon has done before, and I like how they did this track. Great song. Sniper, great song. Speed Merchants, great song. All killer tracks on here, not a filler one on here. And definitely, this was also a pledge for me. And good stuff. So definitely pick up the new Saxon. Sorry about the glare, guys. Up next, another pickup from Shadow Kingdom. I didn't have this one. In fact, I don't think I had any of them. Again, a new wave of traditional heavy metal band, Midnight Priest, and their, I believe it's their Midnight Steel is the album. It is on Anger of Art Records. But definitely pick this up. Good stuff. I think these guys are out of Greece, or Italy, if I'm not mistaken. Up next, this adds to my collection that's growing, and this is no exception. This came from, let's see, where did this come from? I think this was also a Shadow Kingdom find. I'm talking about Motorhead and Rock and Roll. Of course, this has all the members. Lemmy, of course, passed. Filthy Animal Taylor passed. Wurzel passed. And Phil Campbell, who is still alive. And but I finally picked this up. I do have a lot of it on CD, but I didn't have a lot on vinyl. At one time I used to, and of course sold my collection off, first collection, and so I'm starting to get these back. This is remastered on 180 gram vinyl. So yeah, good to have Motorhead. Up next, this was also in Shadow Kingdom, and I did not have this. I do have 3 other albums on vinyl from these guys, and I'm talking about Vicious Rumors and the album Electric Punishment, which is out on SPV Records, or Steam Hammer. It came out in 2013, and this is a gatefold edition. And then up next, this was a surprise for me. I never heard the band before. I didn't know of the band, and I mean, I do a lot of searching, and of course you're never gonna find it all or hear it all or anything, but there was a track that one of our DJs played on the radio show, Mad Brad's Metal Mayhem, which is on Thursday night on Sonic Asylum Radio, played a track from these guys, and these guys are hard rock. And I believe these guys are out of Sweden. And the band is called Wayward Sons. And the album is called Ghosts of Yet to Come. And killer hard rock. Probably in the 70s vein. It's produced by Chris Daada and Toby Jepson. And definitely, this is a gatefold as well, but definitely check this out. Wayward Sons. Gotta love the cover. Up next, I heard a couple tracks off of this, and I do have, we're getting close to getting all of them on vinyl. And this is one of their new releases, definitely a great release from these guys out of Canada. And to me, I think this is one of their better albums they put out in probably the last 10 years, in my opinion. I'm going to talk about Anvil and Pounding the Pavement. Of course, great tracks on here are Bitch in the Box, Smash Your Face, Rock That Shit, and there's one, Nanook of the North. Anyway, this is a gatefold double album set. And anyway, Anvil's latest. This actually came out, this is a 2018 release on Steam Hammer. And I think I ordered this through Amazon. Decent price. Up next, this comes from Bomp Records. And now we're getting, this is more punkish hard rock. Or not hard, punkish garage rock, I gotta say. And I'm talking about, let's see, the band is called Detonations, and the album is called Static Vision. Now, Bomp Records basically caters to garage rock bands, punk bands, some psych bands, but mostly they're into more of the garage rock era bands. These are newer bands. This one actually came out on in 2004 on Alive Records. And anyway, here is the band called Detonations. Up next, this is more of a punkish garage rock again. This band is called Demon's Claw. They're out of Toronto, Ontario. And this album is really kind of limited in on any information. The vinyl is basically, it's a black vinyl. And it just has a Demon's Claw on there and nothing else. Same with the album cover. This is a kind of a $5 buy, and I can definitely see why it was a $5 buy. It's got a scratch in there. I don't know if it's going to play on that side or not, but I guess when you take a chance on $5 albums, sometimes you get what you pay for. I'm not going to get pissed off about it, because it was $5. So anyway, a band called Demon's Claw. And then up next, another band out of Canada, garage rock, Bomp Records, the distro. I'm talking about the B-Girls and Bad Not Evil. And I'm not sure. I think these gals only put out maybe 2 albums. This might be their 2nd album, and they are definitely more of a, again, punkish garage rock. And it was produced by the B-Girls and Deborah Harry McJones, Liam Sternberg, and Bob Sagarini. And this basically came out in 77 to 81 is when the group was around. And very short songs, definitely punkish. And anyway, here are the B-Girls. Up next, this comes from Shadow Kingdom Records. I have one other album by this band, and the name kind of eludes me, but these guys, I believe they're out of Australia, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check here. Nope, they're from Texas. Thinking of a different band. This is a reissue of a band called Children, and the reissue of the album called Rebirth. This is a psych album that originally came out in 1968 as soft psych, baroque pop with fuzzed out psychedelia. It is a gatefold edition. This was actually made in Spain on Outsider Records. And I love finding old stuff like this, but reissued. Finding originals, you're virtually not going to find the stuff, and if you do, it's going to be an arm and a leg for the price. But anyway, here's a band called Children and Rebirth. Up next, another Bomb Records distro, and I've never heard of these guys either. And the band is called The Cripplers, and it's called One More for the Bad Guys, a punk album. And of course it says, this record should be played loud. This is on the Dionysus Records label, came out in 2001, still sealed. And all tracks were one take. On June 3rd in 2000 at Red Boots in Columbia, Missouri. The tracks, and then let's see here, 3, 4, 8, 9, and 14 and 16 were recorded in 1998. But anyway, the Cripplers. And then I bought this through Amazon. A lot of these are coming out on vinyl now. You can probably pick them up at Amazon. Over at, I believe it's Nuclear Blast or Napalm Records are the ones that are releasing these as well. And Testament, I picked up Testament Low. And this is on Metal Blade. Originally came out in '94 and released in 2016. And slowly but surely picking up the back catalog of Testament. I got a lot of it on CD, but a lot of early stuff I don't have on vinyl. And I love Testament. Good stuff here. We got one left. And this is a band out of New York. I think they're out of Rochester, New York. I came across this band on a search on YouTube with a couple, or on a video channel that I subscribe to, the new wave of traditional heavy metal. And this is a 3-piece band. I believe, like I say, I believe they're out of Rochester, New York. Female-fronted 3-piece band, and the band is called Sanhedrin. And it is called A Funeral for the World, and this is definitely new wave of traditional heavy metal. This is released by the band, and let's see here. Here is the inner. course, it has Jeremy Sauceville, Erica Stoltz, and Nathan Honor on drums. And then the vinyl is kind of a, I don't know, how do you, a lighter lime green with the custom inners. So anyway, that is mail from past month that I've received. Just haven't had the time to do a video up until now. So anyway, just glad I could bring these to you. I've been, like I say, I've been doing a lot of videos lately. Decided to do a couple today. I got one more to do now, and that'll be it for the day, and then I'll get them posted for you guys. You can leave your comments below in the comment section, and any questions you get asked, and hopefully I'll be able to tell you. Anyway, so that is all. So anyway, we'll see you next time on Metalwargod's Video Mail Update. Take care, everybody.